Hi, I'm Auntie Sharon, and welcome to Mary's Eclectic Interests. Today, our guest is Karen Shragg, and she's the manager from the Wood Lake Nature Center in Richfield, Minnesota. Karen, welcome.
Well, it's so nice to be here.
You're from Richfield.
Well, I work there, yes, and have for 27 years.
I grew up there.
No.
Yes.
Do you remember Wood Lake?
Yes, I do.
Do I want to know anything you remember about Wood Lake? It was before my time. I'm not responsible, okay?
Okay. So tell us, what are we going to be doing today?
Well, we're going to do something that people will think is a little strange, but that's okay. We are going to take this plant. A lot of people think of it as a weed. It's stinging nettle.
Oh.
Yeah, don't touch it. I have gloves on. Urtica dioica is the Latin name for it. There's about 6 subspecies. And what it is this plant, the seeds as well as the leaves, are full of nutrition.
Really?
Even though it came from Europe many, many years ago and is wreaking havoc on our everywhere, our prairies, and we don't like it in our prairies, but the good news is there's iron in here, there's potassium, there's all kinds of things. Vitamin A, 15,000 units
Really?
of vitamin A for
In
100
that?
grams of weight.
I
So
have that in my backyard all over.
this is amazing, and we're going to make stinging nettle fettuccine today.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Oh, it's yummy. It's really good. I really believe in eating wild things. I don't know if you remember Yul Gibbons a long time ago,
Yes.
but he was like, let's eat it even if it tastes like cardboard. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no. Let's make it just delicious. And that's sort of my thing, is to take things that are literally free food. I mean, the thing about this is great for lazy gardeners. I love to garden, but you have to buy the plants or raise them from seeds. And then you have to fertilize them. And this just grows by itself, and it's got more nutrition in it than anything you could grow in your garden.
And everybody just wants to throw them away. They want to get them out of their garden and that.
Right, and it's not fun. If you put this against your skin, there's something called formic acid in it, which everyone has a reaction to. Unlike poison ivy, you have to be allergic to poison ivy to get poison ivy.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
It's called urushiol. It's a kind of a chemical that if some people can touch poison ivy, no problem. Other people, it's a terrible rash.
Wow.
And you're going to always be allergic if you're allergic to it. And sometimes if you burn it, the smoke can make you allergic. This, as long as you handle it with gloves, or you can take your bare hand and pinch it really hard, and then I'm not in any kind of pain. It's because the skin on this part of your hand is tougher, and the formic acid doesn't get into it. But I've got boiling water on the stove, and that's because the nettles is very edible, but you've got to boil it first. That makes the formic acid dissipate, and you can even drink the water once it's boiled.
Really?
And nettle tea, and again, this is free. You can go spend $5 or $6 at a co-op and get nettle tea or nettle capsules. They're all good, but this is free.
Free
That's
is the
my
best.
favorite price.
That's right.
Okay. Should we put some in here?
I think so.
All right. So I'm just going to, I've got some water boiling. I think I'll turn it up a little bit more. And I'm just going to take and put it in here. And it doesn't take very long. You just need to make sure that you have it all in there. There you go. And once it's all, let's kind of put it in there. Once it's all boiled, you can just eat it like spinach.
Oh.
Now, we're filming this in the late summer when the seeds are there. And the seeds, let me show you here. Let's get that boiling. The seeds are actually edible as well, and they don't have the formic acid in them.
Oh, they don't?
So I can put this in your hand. Trust me. There you go. And you can use those like poppy seeds for muffins.
Oh.
You can put, we've made nettle seed muffins at our nature center, Wood Lake Nature Center, and that's one of our standard things we make. And you can pick them, and there's no formic acid in them. And they have nutrition in them as well.
Okay.
So that's kind of fun to do. So we're letting this boil and get that all, that'll be like our green for the thing that we're going to do. And
Now, can you eat these raw, or do you have to cook them?
you have to cook them.
Okay.
You have to cook. I mean, it won't hurt you, but
Yeah.
you really should cook them.
Okay.
And then we've got another plant there.
What's this?
This is cattail. Let me show you. It's very big. And this grows
Oh, wow.
more of a native plant. There's some non-native cattails. We won't get into that. It's not a botany show. It's a cooking show. And this is the cattail, I pulled it out of the marsh this morning, and it's the white part, the stalk, that is the edible part. You can eat it raw or cooked. With the stingy nettle, only cooked.
Okay.
Okay, so that's an important part. And so what we're going to do is, I'm going to have you do this.
Okay.
Have you cut it up into little pieces like this, just small pieces like that, and just until the white part. The green part is not edible. It
Okay.
kind of looks like an onion, but it tastes
Yeah.
like a cucumber.
Oh, it does.
Do you want a
Okay.
little taste?
Sure.
Try that.
Say.
I have really good liability insurance, but please don't make me use it, okay?
No,
Isn't
it's
that
very good.
All right.
It's very good.
So go ahead and cut that up.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is we're going to put that right in our fry pan over here.
Okay.
The other thing I did is I bought, these are store-bought mushrooms, the portobello mushrooms, but I also love harvesting mushrooms. And people go, oh no, mushrooms are poisonous. But you know, if you stay with the safe ones, the ones that have no mimics, and I always figure if you know your shapes and your colors, you can figure out these things. And you're missing out on a whole lot if you just say, oh, I'll never do it. Now, you should never, ever harvest anything unless you're 110% sure you know what it is. But these are, well, ask any of my staff, I am a huge mushroom fan. I could eat them for breakfast. I do eat them for breakfast.
So
as a
do
matter
I
of
go
fact.
down further here? Just
Let's see. Let's go down right to there.
right to
That's
there.
enough.
Okay.
We just brought enough to show you that nettles aren't the only thing that you can make out of the wild.
Okay.
So I'm going to have you slice up the mushrooms. We'll pretend we harvested these.
Okay.
Right now, I'm looking forward to the giant puffballs. Have you ever seen the big puffball mushrooms that are in the wild? Have you ever seen them?
Oh,
They
yes.
look like soccer balls.
Yes.
Very edible.
Oh, they
All you
are.
have
Okay.
all you have to do is no stem.
Okay. No stem.
No stem. They have no gills.
Okay.
You slice them and they look like cream cheese throughout.
Ooh.
You fry them in garlic butter. Yum.
So how do you want me to cut these?
Why don't you slice them this way and
Okay,
then
like
the
this?
other way? Yep.
Okay.
I like to start from the top. It doesn't matter, but you start
Oh,
from the top.
okay. So turn it
You're
over.
going to find out that I don't use a lot of measuring.
Okay.
There will be a recipe that I just made up numbers. I'm not going to tell. Don't tell anybody. I know where
Okay.
to go. I just go half a cup. I don't like. It makes cooking not fun for me when everything is measured.
Ah.
Usually it's
So
very
it's by
forgiving.
taste.
It's taste, it's look, it's feel, it's experience, and that's what. Oh, our nettles are cooking up really well. So the other thing we're going to do is I'm going to turn out this a little bit. Since we're making the fettuccine, I'm just going to start the noodles.
Okay.
And this is linguine. Now, I am making these with gluten-free noodles for those in our audience who say, "Oh, but I couldn't eat that. I can't have gluten." Well, these are made out of, I believe, corn and quinoa. Just break them in half and let them start cooking, and then we'll make our sauce.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Now,
That's kind of a little flavor to it.
what?
I can smell a little bit of a
Yeah,
smell to
it
it.
tastes very much like a cross between spinach and a little bit of broccoli.
Okay.
And I always tell kids, what's really fun, we do a lot of teaching of kids classes at Wood Lake Nature Center.
Oh, yes.
And sometimes, the adults, I once had adults say, "Oh, my kid's not going to eat it. They don't eat anything green." And I'm like, wait, because when they pick it and they harvest it, they do eat it. Most of them do. Some will say, "I don't want to try it." I said, "Just try a little bit."
Yeah.
Can I have seconds? Well, that's a lot of fun as well.
Oh,
so we're
that's
going to get our noodles all started. And then for our topping, we're going to use almonds. Now, in the wild, you could harvest walnuts, but I'm not that patient. You have to get the walnuts out of the coating and use a hammer and so on. So we're going to cheat a little bit, and these are store-bought almonds. We'll take a little bit of our butter here. I'll let you put in the almonds. All right.
Okay.
Okay, we'll just
kind of shake them in.
Yeah, we'll get this. Let's see. Here we go. Put that on. There we go. Go ahead.
Okay.
Shake that in there.
All of them? Or
Let's
some?
do about half, I think.
I think that's about
That's
good.
going.
A little extra.
There we go.
Okay.
And then we can pre-saute our our mushrooms. You want to cut those in half again for me?
Sure.
They'll
Going
fit
this
in the
way?
pan a little better.
Okay.
Now mushrooms are just an added, people don't like mushrooms. You can do the fettuccine with any kind of vegetable. You can use zucchini,
Uh-huh.
green pepper. And then in this pan, what we're going to do, we're going to turn it on and start the sauce. The sauce, I'm going to let you help me with this as well.
Okay.
We're using this product here. Now, I like to use, for people who don't have dairy or anything, it's called Veganese. It's a product, it's reduced fat, but you can use any kind of a mayonnaise. And we're making like a fettuccine sauce. So we're going to take and put that in here and add the butter and then the dill sauce. So you can see I don't use measurements. We just kind of mix it together. And I'm going to let you help me by, no, then I bought just for ease, because a lot of people I know out there cooking go, too many ingredients, I don't have those. Just pick up a packet of, this is just dill seasoning. You want to just put that in for me and just show you how easy that is?
Sure.
So dill is often something you could,
The whole thing?
do you have a garden?
Yes, I do.
Do you grow dill?
It does it probably itself.
It self-seeds.
All of it?
All right, yep, there
Okay.
you go, yep. And then,
I love the smell of dill.
isn't that a great smell?
Very much.
So a wonderful smell. And we'll just stir it up and let it heat up, because we're going to add the nettles to this, and we're going to add the.
Oh, everything's starting to really nice
I'll let
sizzle.
you stir the almonds, and we're also going to add. This is one of my favorite spices. Do you ever use cumin?
Oh yeah.
Like a coriander?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just take about a capful. Right. That just gives it just a real sort of a snappy flavor.
You can use that for so many things.
You can, and I do. I like to make. I love to make my own dressings. You know, every time I buy a dressing, I there are things in it I can't pronounce.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of have a rule. If I don't know what xanthan gum is, I don't want to eat it. Is that a good rule?
That's a very good rule.
Yeah. So making your own dressings is kind of a fun thing for me. So we're going to add a little bit more, because we want to have enough to feed the wonderful crew that's helping us. So it's heating up, and then we're going to just.
As the aroma goes into the.
Is that good?
Yeah.
I always feel like when I watch a cooking show that it's really sort of makes you jealous that they get to eat it and you don't.
Yes.
I suppose that's what they want you to do. They want you to go
And cooking is
cook it
relaxing too.
I find it very relaxing.
Yeah.
I am one of those people that say, I love to cook even on vacation.
Yeah.
Ask my husband. He loves.
Oh, we're starting to boil over there.
We are. We'll take that off a little bit. Okay. There we go. It'll go down. I think it's ready anyway. We've got this wonderful sauce.
Ooh, that's looking good.
We've got the noodles.
Got everything?
We've got and then the butter is going to be for the. We'll tell you what. Let's just switch pans here, because this is hot already.
So you want the mushrooms over there?
Yes, let's put the mushroom. Oh, doesn't that almond smell good?
I don't think all these are going to fit in there, but.
Well, we'll get most of them. We can put it right into there as well.
Okay.
There we go.
Do you want these?
Sure, we'll put the cattails in there. Now, cattails can be eaten raw or cooked, as I mentioned. And that's kind of an important thing when you're doing. Go ahead and put some.
Put some in here?
Yeah. Can't waste mushrooms. That's my rule.
No.
Can't waste it. There we go.
There's one more cattail. There we
There
go.
we go. So we'll get the. We'll put on the. I love this stove. This is fun. I want one of these.
Yeah.
Can I just take this? I have a van. Could this fit in my car?
Yeah.
I would love that. That would just be so fun. So we've got the nettles is brewing.
That smells really good.
You don't really need to cook the sauce very long at all. And you only need to cook the nettles for 5 minutes. That's it. So what we're going to do.
So it's a really nice, fast, easy dish to make.
You know, that's kind of the way I like to cook. I love to cook, but I don't like to spend a ton of time preparing everything. But I want it to taste good, And you know, I want it to be good for the planet too.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I got into this was because I really hated the way we were spraying everything with pesticides. Like, oh, let's get rid of our weeds. I'm going, well, what if you could eat them? Turns out you can.
Who knew?
Well, we've known for a long time,
Well, that's
but it's really sad that we sort of ignore what we know.
yeah.
It's like, well, but shouldn't we just not eat them and be safe? And what we try to teach at the Nature Center is let's learn.
Right.
Let's learn. We've got all these wonderful mushrooms cooking, and here's what I'm going to have you do.
Okay.
Is we're going to
Do that.
put this in the colander. And you want to do that? Just hold. This is safe to hold. You got it?
Yep, got it.
Okay, pour it in there. Now, we're kind of wasting this wonderful tea.
Oh.
See that yellow tea?
Yes.
Don't tell me what it reminds me of. But
I won't.
maybe a test that people do when they go to the doctor's office. That's what it looks like, but it's not. It's actually a wonderful tea, sweet of honey. So we're going to put it on the cutting board
Okay.
and have you just use that purple knife, if you will.
All right. I'm going to stick this back over here.
Okay, we're going to put this over here. Turn that off.
All right. So use this knife there? Or should I use the purple one?
Purple one. It looks better on camera.
Purple one. Yeah, there we go. And just cut it?
Small pieces.
Okay. Cool. This is fun.
There you go.
Boy, who would have known that something like this in my backyard, I could
Well, tell me
do
where
this
you
with
live and I'll come harvest it for you.
Yeah, I live in Brooklyn Center.
What you'll do is you'll say, Karen,
You have a lot back there.
no, you'll say, come over for lunch, but you have to harvest your own lunch and cook it.
Right.
So I don't need this glove anymore. I'll take that off.
How small do you want this? Is that about?
Small pieces that you would want to eat.
Okay.
All right. So what we want to do next is we want to drain.
Okay, I think
You
got it.
haven't read Tom Sawyer, have you? Because that's kind of
Tom Sawyer. Well, when I was younger.
Okay, well that's what I'm doing. I'm just kind of having you do all of the work, and you're enjoying
Right.
it. And that's
I am. This is great.
That's right. All right. So we're going to take and that's good. That's good.
Okay.
And so we're going to take and drain the noodles.
Put this
Put
back
that
in there.
back in there. Yep.
Okay.
I'll do this for you.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Drain the noodles. We're all
you get that?
done.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. There you go. Kind of shake them out there.
Shake, shake.
All right. So, what are we going to do next? What do you think? Let's
We're going to add everything together.
We're going to add everything together, and
Okay.
it's going to be a meal. It's going to be just
So where do you want this?
amazing. So we're going to have that. Just set that
Okay.
right down, and we're going to add the nettle. You can bring the whole thing over
All right.
to that, and I'll step out of your way.
Okay.
There you go. Just put
Right
it right
into
into
there.
there. There you go.
All right. Here we go.
Excellent.
Wow, look at that.
Now, the other thing is, it should look good
Yes.
because it can't just taste good. It has to look good. Especially for
Colors.
Americans to eat. Well,
Yep.
color is beautiful. You know, color is important. So this is our sauce.
You know, I heard that color, our palette is really
It's important.
important, yeah, to
All the
what we
different
eat.
kinds of color. Now, this isn't a hugely colorful thing, but you could add red pepper to it.
Oh, sure.
I mean, this is just basic stuff. So why don't you go ahead and put the
Okay.
mushrooms in there?
All right.
I'll let you go do that.
All right. Just don't have to drain it, just put it right
Just
in.
put it right in.
Oh, look at
Just add
that.
a little sauce to that.
There.
And we're
And then
going
that?
to put this on the very top once we put that.
Should I
over
stir
the
this in?
ends. Right.
Okay.
All right, so we've got our plate over here. Now, I just want to encourage people to look at the plant itself to make absolutely certain that you know what you're harvesting. That's really, really important. And the thing about nettles, it's important to know how the nettle really looks. And you can always come to a nature center. You know that Minnesota has so many nature centers. And go to your naturalist at a nature center, support them, and to say, is this nettles? And they'll probably say, pick as much as you want.
Yeah.
And so it's free food, but do ask permission anytime you're going to do that. All right,
Okay.
so here's what we're going to do.
Okay.
We're going to put the noodles onto the plate.
Yeah, it looks good. It
So
smells
I cover
good.
the plate with the noodles. I'll bring the platter over here. That's a little bit easier.
Let's see, is this hot to touch?
It is warm. So I'm just going to
So-
have you scoop that up with, how about it?
Is there another scooper?
Yeah, let's use a spoon behind you.
This
The black spoon.
one here.
That'll work.
This will work.
Perfect.
There we
Perfect.
go. Then I can go down the
Let's do
edges.
that.
Drizzle it
Just
in
kind
there.
of drizzle it on there.
Okay.
Isn't that a pretty green?
Very much.
Great. And now this is when I say, I'm sorry, this is really poisonous to most people, but I'll just take it home. No, I share. I like to share. It's just
Gotta
so
make sure I
easy. I mean,
get those
we've
mushrooms.
used maybe, 3 or 4 ingredients.
Yeah.
The hardest thing to do was I don't know if you're familiar with Japanese beetles, but they have
Yeah.
been terrible this year.
They have been.
You know, they came over from Japan in 1915, and they were in flower bulbs. They came
Oh,
over by
really?
accident, and now they're just wreaking havoc. They eat over 300 different plants, including my beans at home. So frustrated. But I saw them on the nettles today.
You
In
did?
fact, when I emptied the bag after coming to the studio today, there were 2 Japanese beetles in the bag.
How's that?
Isn't that
That
lovely?
looks beautiful.
Oh, we got one more step.
Okay.
Okay, the step is use the same thing, and then you want to put that on top. So we've got the sautéed mushrooms,
just
and we're
kinda-
going to kind of put those on top. Right.
Sprinkle it on top
Yep.
there.
What do you
Okay.
think?
There we go. Ooh, that looks good. Nice and crispy. And then
There we
spread
go.
it.
Spread it on top.
Spread it over there.
What do you
Ooh,
think?
that looks great.
It doesn't have to taste good. It just looks good,
It
right?
looks- and it
has
smells
to-
good,
has
too.
in my book, it has to do
Yes,
both.
it
So,
does. That looks great.
You ready for a taste?
Yes, I am. This
All
looks
right.
fabulous. This looks so good. I can't wait.
Well, you don't
Can
have
I eat
to.
it?
It's going to get cold if you don't.
Let's eat it.
So I'll let you do the honors.
All right. This looks so good.
All right, there you go.
I'm-
Thank you.
Want more? A little more? There we go.
Do you see my plate down yet? No, of course I want more. Thank
There you go. Oh, that looks
much.
so good. Okay.
Thank you. All right. So you could substitute all kinds of things for it. You could do walnuts, pecans. You can add other vegetables. You can add other kinds of. You could put this over quinoa if you don't do noodles. There's all kinds of variations that you can do.
All right.
Should we try it?
Yep. Ready? All right.
I want to choke on it.
Oh.
What do you think? Is that good? The dill
Wow.
makes it, doesn't it?
That is so
The dill
good.
makes it really, really good. This is really
This is
good.
delicious.
Oh,
You know, this tastes as good as it looks. It's really, really delicious.
I call it, the other thing I do is I call this recipe-free cooking. Because basically, you have the ingredients. Like every night when I go into my kitchen, I don't know what I'm going to make. I just make sure I have ingredients that I know taste good together, and you experiment. And I really encourage people to experiment with food, especially when there's free things growing in their yard.
What other things can you make with the nettles?
Well, you can make stir fry, which is just, you can add
Oh.
other vegetables. And then one of the sauces we teach at the Nature Center, we use ginger and soy sauce and maple syrup. We do our own maple syrup at the Nature Center. Many nature centers do. On a good year, we'll get maybe 24 gallons of maple
wow.
syrup. And we don't have the sugar maple trees there, so we use box elder and mostly silver maple trees.
Oh, okay.
So it's about 40 gallons of sap to 1 gallon of syrup. So every gallon is precious.
Wow.
But if you use a little maple syrup and soy sauce and ginger, it's a real nice stir-fry sauce, so it
Nice.
goes well in that.
Okay.
The nettle seed muffins I mentioned, anything you use poppy seeds with, you could use nettle seeds with.
Oh, okay.
So that's another thing that you can do with the
Sure.
nettles.
Is there a website that they can go to?
Yes, it's woodlakenaturecenter.org.
Okay.
And we have our events there, and we do wild edibles every season, and it's very seasonal. So that's really important. We teach kids that it's great to go pick raspberries, but you can't do it in March.
Right.
And well, with climate change, who knows what you can do. But we have all kinds of programs that teach about everything. We have apple cidering in the fall, maple syruping in the spring, and it's all fun.
Sounds like fun. I'd like to come and learn myself, especially with now taking the weeds from my backyard
Yeah.
and doing something with them other than just throwing them away.
And it's real important that a lot of things are available next to the freeway, but the freeway is not a great place.
No.
Not only is it not safe, but you've got all the exhaust on the plants.
Oh,
So
yeah.
one of the reasons I originally got into this many, many years ago was the idea of paying attention to how we treat our plants. That's really where it all starts. They photosynthesize, they make our food, the base of our food. And so if we're spraying them with pesticides, if we're covering them with exhaust, then it's not healthy for us, and it's not healthy for the bees and the pollinators that we need so badly.
Right.
So it's just a way of saying, well, let's look at nettles and some of these other weeds in a different way. Let's look at it as free food. Let's look at it as something tasty. And as long as we're paying attention, that's the other thing I like is I don't think naturalists are the only one who should have such good food. I think everyone should be able to have access to this. And usually it's just a lack of knowledge that keeps them away from it.
Well, and is there some medicinal kinds of benefits to this too?
You know, I'm so glad you asked. There's so many vitamins in this, but a lot of people take it as a remedy for allergies.
Oh, okay.
And it's got a lot of iron in it. A lot of women will take it for iron. It comes in capsule form, and it's good for your eyes. It's good for a lot of things. So yeah, it's considered very medicinal. So of all the problems it has in making you itch and everything, it does sort of make up for it in what it does medicinally.
So this was growing wild all around and in our backyards and that. What other plants are growing wild that we don't know about that we can eat?
Oh, so many. One is called yellow wood sorrel. So there's red clover that you can make a tea out of. The hips from wild rose you can make a tea out of. And there's all kinds of other things. Grapevine is there.
Okay, sure.
You can make stuffed grape leaves from your grapevine and wild grapes, of course, as well.
Wow. And as long as we don't put pesticides in our backyard on things and stuff, we can then, it's eating healthy.
It's eating healthy.
Yeah.
And we should just be paying attention to all those things. We shouldn't try to buy them in the store. What I find so sad is that the organic food now is a lot more expensive than the stuff that is sprayed. And that's a whole nother show, isn't it?
Well, Karen, thank you so much for coming to Mary's Eclectic Interests and sharing such a wonderful idea with us.
Oh, thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.